Welcome to the Misfit One Lifestyles with Elizabeth Colin. She will awaken and connect with your Misfit One. Are you tired of the ups and downs in your life? Are you ready to live a healthy lifestyle once and for all? We are talking about all aspects of your life. Being fit is not just physical, it's also your mind and soul. Learn how to take steps in your life to move towards your goals. Elizabeth's goal is for everyone listening to the sound of her voice to get fit. Let's get focused, let's get intentional, and let's transform. Now here's your host, Elizabeth Colin.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Misfit One Lifestyles with your host, Elizabeth Colin, also known as Misfit One. Today's guest is on point. I cannot wait for you guys to talk to the Kettlebell Kings. He is Chad Price. How you doing, Mr. Chad?
I'm doing great today. Thank you for having me on.
I am so excited to talk to you. Listen, you are a seasoned entrepreneur with decades of experience in multiple industries. So I want to talk to you a little bit about that before we start talking about Kettlebell Kings and Life Grows Green. Is that okay?
Sounds good. Let's do it.
All right. So let's talk about it. Why are you an entrepreneur? What impels you to be an entrepreneur?
Well, I mean, I think, I've kind of always had a little entrepreneurial spirit in me. When I was younger, I always wanted to have like a little, job or side hustle or try to figure out how I could have some type of income coming in without, I didn't have the ability to have a full-time job or even a part-time job because I played so many sports growing up. So, my mentality has always been competitive. And even when I was playing sports, I always kind of dreamed about, what I would do after and what type of team I would be a part of. And I think entrepreneurship just was kind of an inevitability for me, if that makes sense.
It makes sense. It makes sense. So what are some of the things that you did? I like when you said you played sports. What sports were those?
Growing up, I played every sport. Literally track, baseball, tennis, basketball, soccer. Pretty much every sport under the sun. I grew up in a small town in South Texas. This is pre-internet, so definitely pre-social media and things like that. So I spent most of my days outside playing sports and kind of growing up being an athlete. I'm from Bay City, Texas, about an hour southeast of Houston. Yeah.
I'm from Beaumont, Texas. I lived in Houston, Texas for a few years. I went to high school there.
Yeah. We actually played you guys in the playoffs for my senior year in basketball. So, yeah.
Did we win or did you win?
Yeah. No, you guys won.
I would say I'm pretty sure we won.
Yeah, you guys won. we were a football team. So I actually, I got a scholarship to play football at Rice in Houston. And, but I played all sports. My junior and senior year, I focused mainly on basketball and football, basketball, football, and track.
Cool. I played basketball and I ran track. I didn't play football, but I would have if I could have. Nice. Yeah, he's like,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I it's always a small world. And I was in my chiropractor office the other day, and I met someone who was in training, and they were like, "Yeah, I'm from Palacios, which is right down the street from me in Bay City." I was like, "Man, it's everyone's from South Texas," but I love it.
Right?
I think people from South Texas, they get it. They all kind of have a kindred spirit.
Yeah, we workers. We're not scared of work. And we put in the work and we'll put in the time. That's what I think is Texas. We don't mind working. We don't mind putting in that time, and we know how to grind. Because to me, coming from Texas for me is I found nothing harder than living on a farm and where I grew up.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So in the big city, it's like, this is not hard work.
Yeah, it's like you guys have air conditioning. What do you mean?
Exactly. It's like, what, y'all complaining? Yeah. I could do this all day, which is really true. So let's talk about what you're doing now and how you got involved in that.
Yeah. So I took the Kettlebell Kings journey. That was a 10-year journey that led with, or I shouldn't say ended because it's still going on with the sale and that right at the end of 2021. So I started several other companies at the time, and then I wrote my book to kind of culminate that journey. So in my book, Preparing for Battle, I talk about my journey of how I kind of came to entrepreneurship, and then I use some examples of Kettlebell Kings in the business area to talk about some of the concepts that I like to apply to any kind of business strategy. But I think more importantly, kind of building the correct mindset for entrepreneurship. I think a lot of people who, especially if you don't have an athletic or competitive athletic background, they don't really prepare themselves for, let's say, the intensity or the obstacles of day-to-day entrepreneurship, and it can be kind of daunting when you first take it on if you're not kind of used to that intensity level.
Thank God we're from Texas, though, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I think that is part of it. I think when you grow up in Texas, you realize it's competitive. Like if you want to be good, it's a lot of towns out there. It's a lot of people that want to be good just like you. So
you are not kidding. You might
it
be a
builds that
big
spirit.
fish
Yeah.
in that little small town. And then
Yeah.
when you go to the other town, you like, wait a minute
Yeah,
now.
exactly. Yeah, I got to step my game up. So
I have to step my game
yeah,
up.
exactly.
That is exactly it.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about Kettlebell Kings for everybody who don't know about it.
Sure. So I founded that company in 2012 with a friend from that played college football with me at Rice, and then another friend of a teammate of mine at Rice. So it was three of us that founded the company. When we started it, we really wanted to just start an e-commerce brand. We didn't really even know if it was going to be a fitness company or what direction we wanted to go into. But as we went along that journey, we kind of were all in our own, let's say, personal health and wellness journeys as well after competitive sports. So, this is when I was 25, 26, trying to get a routine together for what I would do for my, athletic or health and wellness routine. And kettlebells was kind of a perfect fit at the time. It was trending as far as the notoriety around it being useful. And then also just, more and more people were using it. CrossFit was bringing a lot of attention to the bell, and there was really no street level lifestyle brand that encompassed the kettlebell enthusiasts. And so Kettlebell Kings was born basically to try to achieve that.
That's very cool. I like that because kettlebell is, I love doing that workout because if you don't have time, grab that kettlebell and you can get that whole body in like 10, 20 minutes. You're like, good, I'm ready.
For sure. And that's one of the things that we loved about it. And especially for me, I didn't like going to 24-hour fitness or Gold's Gym or anything like that when I stopped playing competitively. Like it was somewhat annoying for me because it felt like a social scene and not really like a fitness facility. And so I got into home workouts just because I was trying to like really get in and, zone into my workout and get it knocked out. And kettlebells was like the most affordable, efficient, I could take it anywhere. I was doing it outside, inside. I was just like, man, I really kind of had a chance to nerd out on something that I hadn't really used through my competitive career. And the functionality and the mobility side of it, allowed me to kind of have something to work on that maybe I hadn't worked on when I'm just trying to lift maximum weight or just trying to, do heavy squats and cleans and things like that that I had done previously.
I love that. And what's so great about it is that it's all about using raw material, that you guys focus on, because I'm like you, I do not like the gym. And it's so funny because I'm there toe up from the floor up. I'm working out hard. And guys still trying to talk. And I'm like, you see them girls over there who got their makeup on and matching outfits? Yeah. They're willing to talk. Yeah. I'm working, like, dude, I'm working real hard right here. And it is, like you said, annoying. I didn't know men felt that way though. Let me hear what you're saying about what you think about how it's a social club.
Well, I mean, I think it's definitely not as intense as it would be for, attractive women like yourself. But I think for men, it's the same thing because you do have that dynamic of the makeup and the kind of, especially with social media now, it's a way, it's a place to capture content for people. It's more of a place that traditionally is opposite of what I've been allowed. So, when every workout that I've ever been to has really been instructed by a strength and conditioning coach, and it's a serious place. There's no such thing as being on your cell phone. There's no such thing as like kind of taking these recreational
Boy,
breaks in the middle of the workout, and you get the workout done, you get out the way so other people can get their workout done. Like that's the mentality that I've come from, but that's not the mentality that's marketable to the majority of Americans, and I get it. You want to have pizza and donuts at the same time while you work out. I get it. I
and
get
sit
it.
and talk to your friends
Yeah,
while you're on
exactly.
the
You want to take pictures of things and get text messages during the
thing.
workout while you're sitting on the bench. Cool.
Yeah.
I get it. It's better than you being at home. I agree with that, but
And I'm the one who
it's
asks
not for
questions.
me. Yeah.
I'm the one that's like, hey, can I work in here with you fellas? Because
Yeah, exactly. Because you
y'all
wasted
just
time.
talking.
Yeah.
Can I
Yeah.
can I just go ahead and hit this right quick?
Yeah.
And then they're like, what? Because you're a
Yeah.
little girl, right? Like what? Like, let me go ahead and knock this
Yeah.
out while y'all chit-chatting. And
Yeah.
so I love the fact that you see it. I'm telling you, it's a Texas thing. We ain't
Yeah.
got time to play out in these streets. We here to work. We are here
Yeah.
to work. And what's so funny about that is that you then took this, annoyance and found a way to get your workout in at home and, like you said, outside. So I think it's important for people to hear that. It sounds so like you just ran by that, but it is a very valid point. If you find something that you are annoyed with or things that you feel could be better, you know, figure out how to make it better and make it work, because you made this company to a multi-million-dollar company.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think when it comes to everyone's kind of health and wellness journey, I don't think it has to look the same. I think some people actually get social benefit out of going to the gym. They enjoy
Correct.
the talking and the camaraderie of the journey with other people, and they are looking for that type of experience. So I joke kiddingly that I don't like it, but I don't downplay it for someone else's journey. Like I say, it is definitely better than you being sedentary on the couch. Like don't get me wrong, go to the gym and spend 2 hours up there and have a good have a good
No,
time.
no, no, Chad, no. Go to the gym, get your workout, and then go get some coffee. I'm gonna say
Sure.
no.
Yeah.
Because
Okay. Sure.
listen,
I'm giving you options that are better than
I
the
like that. I
alternative. Yeah.
like that. You
So,
so
and
sweet.
and I honestly, through the journey of with Kettlebell Kings, I really do realize that people pick up this kind of portion of the journey of their lives at different times. I had people who had never worked out before until they were 50 plus years old, and this is their first time picking up a kettlebell. And
Wow.
that's a different experience that you will have to have. You need more moral support, more emotional support than probably a
Absolutely.
20-year-old that you say, hey man, go knock your workout out and then we can go talk. I think, and that's more of what I mean. I think it's different for different people.
And
For me personally, I would like
no,
to just get my workout in, and then we can do all the social chatting, and we can have a good time. We can,
afterwards, yeah, I'll go for a drink
yeah,
after,
let's
but
go
when
kick
I'm
it
in
after.
here,
Yeah,
let's get
but
this done. But what I
yeah,
do tell people is that whenever you move to a new environment, it is really good if you are a workout person to go to the gym to meet people, because it is a social
yeah,
event that way. You do meet like-minded people that way. But I think it's impressive how you went to that and then you decided that you needed more. I love that entrepreneur spirit of yours. So now you have another company, Life Grows Green, right?
yeah, yeah. So with Kettlebell Kings, I was able to go on kind of the fitness equipment side of that journey and helping people, but I wasn't really able to touch on, let's say, the natural lifestyle and the natural products and things like that. So Life Grows Green is really about replacing any of your daily lifestyle products with natural solutions. So whether that's supplements, your actual your glassware, your bedding, your whether it's hemp-based products and CBD and things like that. It's really about trying to source the most natural and organic products that we can globally.
Okay, so you kind of like threw that hemp-based products in there like that. We want to know more about that. Let's talk
Sure.
about that because a lot of people do not recognize the benefits, the health benefits of it. And can we talk about, like you said, the natural part of what you're doing? The kettlebells is the equipment, the physical. And on the other side is where you help more with the inside, right?
Sure, and I wouldn't just say it's the inside, because I look at like a health and wellness journey as dozens of products. I think we all have the things that we try to do. Whether that's the content we absorb, all the way to the supplements we take. I think that's one part of it. So with let's say just the hemp side, taking that into consideration, I think that different people use CBD to have different effects on them and have different benefits in their lives. So you have some people who it helps them with anxiety. It helps them, has a calming effect. Other people, it helps them with joint stiffness and joint pain. I'm not the person to say, oh, this is going to cure your ailment. I'm
Right.
I'm sourcing the materials as the cleanest way possible. And so the way I look at natural supplements is there's not negative side effects to natural supplements. So if you're talking about trying a natural supplement versus a pharmaceutical solution, I don't think that you should just skip over a natural attempt. And I think when you go down that journey, you're replacing a lot of the products that maybe have caused you ailment in the first place with natural solutions. And I just want to provide those types of products for people. And that's really my goal, is to provide an option that people know they can trust the source, and they can trust that this brand cares about it being the least processed and the most natural solution possible.
How can people reach you?
The best way to reach me is probably chadprice.com, but I'm also on all socials. So, you can reach me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram at Real Chad Price. But yeah, I'm everywhere.
Okay, cool. Because it is important to know those things, because a lot of time, I know, speaking for myself, I have a hard time sleeping.
Exactly.
And somebody said, like, girl, you can do this to help you go to sleep. Is it called him? I don't know, gummies.
Exactly. I
Whatever.
mean, and that's what I'm saying. There's so many different products. There's confusion around how
It
people
is.
market products. And for me, I'm not like, there's Delta 8, Delta 9, THC, right? You got all these different ways that people are looking at the same plant. I think the future and the way that the plant will be marketed, and when it becomes completely regulated, will be a lot more clear for people. And I want to be one of those brands that allows it to be completely transparent. Like, we're not trying to trick anybody here, or trying to convince you that this is going to cure your cancer. This is a natural supplement that can provide benefits for you in a variety of ways. And the only really way that you can ever really tell with individuals and supplements is by kind of trying different natural supplements. You can go get tests and things like that that'll help you narrow down the supplements that you should try. But I think a more of a trial and error approach with supplements is a safe way to kind of dip your toes into natural solutions.
Which is exactly what my doctor said, because I'm that person. I got questions I want to ask, So I asked my doctor about it, and she was like, listen, you ain't hear from me. But yes, they do work. You have to do your research. And I'm trying to tell you this. The only reason we can't prescribe it is we can't find a way to make money off of it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I thought
because
that was very eye-opening on it. But I love the fact that you, Chad, is willing to be there to help people with the knowledge to make a decision based off of having the information. Because somebody like me knows nothing, right? So I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I ended up not doing because I'm chicken. I am a scared cat. And I know that the one time I take it, I'm gonna die. And everybody's like, you cannot die. Y'all know about me. Y'all know about me. So I'm just like, Ambient me, please, ma'am. Ambient me.
Well,
Which, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, and I think that is it, right? Like, is the marketing has convinced you that ambient is safe and that you kind of dipping your toes into a natural solution is dangerous, and that's just not the case. And I think that's that's the stigma that we're up against that we want to break down, is that this solution is so less. There are no list of side effects like Ambien. There's no, like, could cause suicide, could cause this. There's none of that.
I
And so
know.
this
Walking, don't I
idea,
do stuff that I
yeah,
don't
this
regret what
idea
I
has
did?
been programmed into us from a very young age, from the way we look at the hemp plant, the way that we look at quote unquote marijuana. It's been stigmatized in such a negative way that it affects almost every part of the plant's use. And I think breaking that down is going to help people. And the more people that see it and try it, like I tell people all the time, it's like, I don't have to personally take CBD to sleep, but I've seen so many people do it and it worked for them that I'm like,
Yeah,
why would somebody try to stop you from doing that? Like, it doesn't even make sense. Like,
right.
everybody is different, and if this helps you and it's a natural solution that comes from a plant that's just as organic as or more organic than your protein powder or your your vegan whatever you're choosing to eat, and this is just as clean as that. I don't understand why there would be a negative stigma to it, but
Right.
that's just part of where we
Well,
are.
listen, here, everybody who listening, contact Chad. He gonna
Yeah,
get you together, because I'm gonna call you, Chad, and be like, I got questions. All right. We're
for
gonna
sure.
just go through this. We're gonna go through it. But then not only are you doing that, I want to touch about your book. You said it earlier, but preparing for battle. Just the title of it. How did you come up with the title?
Well, I mean, I think, I've always wanted to write a book. And then after we came to kind of the culmination with the sale of Kettlebell Kings and trying to really culminate that journey into a story, I think that's what I would suggest for someone that is at the beginning of that story. So, the title is really for the person that's thinking about starting that type of journey. And I think more than knowing every single detail and trying to gorge yourself on information prior to starting, I think you really need to start yourself with a correct mindset that it's going to be a battle. You're going to have things that happen that you would have never predicted and could never predict. And having the grit to be able to overcome those things is what's going to determine your success. I think a lot more than the quote unquote business idea or how innovative you are as a thinker or an entrepreneur. I think that the mindset goes a lot further than people think.
Let's talk about that, because that is so true for everybody listening, and who are saying, yeah, I want to start my own business, and I want to do this, and I need to get this book because I am preparing for battle, right? What are 3 things that you could really share with them to kind of be expecting that they wouldn't, if that makes sense?
Um,
That to look out for, because a lot of, like
sure.
you said, they're going to come across things that they didn't think about.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you're starting a new journey, the difficulty or the stress level that you currently have is going to increase. So, I think it's inevitable that you're going to have a larger load on your shoulders when you are trying to build this thing. And it's going to be a lot of that before you get to what anybody would consider a successful state. The first year, 2 years is just going to be every single dollar you make going back into the company to try to sustain and grow the company. You're not, I tell people all the time, we didn't pay ourselves for 5 years with the company. And I don't suggest that to anybody. Like, that was a grind. And that's the type of energy that other people are putting into their business as well, to try to get that thing to grow to a point in which it is sustainable or exponentially available to even grow in a way like where you have a global brand. So I will just try to warn people about that beginning stages of it and the passion required to stay through that. So to see no money coming into your personal bank account but still know the business is going in the right direction and still show up with the same energy and smile on your face and even more energy, because it's going to be more customers, more complaints, more accounts, everything increases, and that's a good thing. When you're playing sports, I think you kind of expect that and you want that because you want the championship, and you always see something as it should get more difficult as we reach the playoffs and we progress through the season. But if you haven't gone through that before in your life and you're thinking like, oh, well, this is going to be awesome. It's like, no, this is going to be the most stressful thing you've ever been through. And if you know that going in and you still go in with a clear head, I think that's great. But if you don't know that going in, it can damage things like your personal relationships. It definitely will damage your business. And ultimately, I think it's something that you need to consider before you just jump in basically with 2 feet.
Priceless. You guys hear that? Priceless. Because I know so many people that say, I'm gonna have my own business because then it's gonna be easy and I'm gonna get to do whatever I want. And then they crying in their bathroom. No, yeah, I'm talking about myself.
Yeah. me included. I have been broken. I have been broken. Yes, I have been completely broken. But here we are.
Exactly. You're like, what is going on? I put that, I think, on today about a girlfriend and I did it, and she goes, "What gives you the confidence?" And then we both laugh and say, "Delusion." We're delusional.
Well, I mean, I think at a certain point you just know it's gonna be hard, and you're not gonna win them all. I think that's a big thing as well. It's like you're not gonna win every single time. Every game you go play, you're not gonna win. And if you're comfortable with losing and still going back the next time, I think that becomes easier and easier. And that's really what business is you find the success through the trial and error of losing. Really, it's inevitable. It's part of the game.
Oh man, this was awesome. This was really good, Chad. You really gave them a lot of information, and I really appreciate you taking time out to talk to me today. But before we wrap it up, I'm going to ask you, because you're on Misfit One Lifestyles. We talked about living fit, and what that means to me is focus plus intentional equals transformation. And basically, you've done all those things. You focused on an issue, you made a difference, you moved with intention, and you have totally transformed many people's lives. And in doing so, I want to ask you, how do you start your mornings?
I usually try to, well, I probably eat different than most people. So I think people would consider what I do intermittent fasting. So I usually try to just get up and drink water, have some tea. And then I try to get my workout in. I don't always get my workout in before my first meeting. So usually there might be maybe a late morning workout, but I think that's the benefit of, the 21st century working from home. Home workout. So like if I have an hour break, I love that. I'll have an hour break. I'm like, okay, 45-minute workout. I can find a video, hit play, and get my workout in and get right back to it. So I usually try to get that in every morning, or at least I would say 4 to 5 times a week.
Oh, now that's what I'm talking about. And I really believe that successful people have very similar morning routines. We really do. And I appreciate you sharing your wisdom with us all. We are learning, we are preparing to battle. You have taught us about our passion and knowing that we got to go in every time, even though that paycheck is not reflecting, and being prepared and knowing that every day is not going to be a win. And so again, Chad, thank you so much. Tell the people again, where can they find you?
ChadPrice.com. You can find the book on Amazon, Preparing for Battle, and then I'm on all social channels at Real Chad Price.
All right. Okay, we're going to leave you with the last words. Give us some words of wisdom.
I think, the number one thing I would say is, especially for business owners, try to find your community through the chaos. I think in business, a lot of times we see so many moving things every day, and we see a lot of the obstacles, and I don't think we necessarily reflect and appreciate the fans that we really have that appreciate us and have followed us on the journey. So that's what I try to do with the companies that I have, is really try to identify who those fans are and put their needs and wants kind of as the forefront of my mission. And that gives me a target every day when I wake up. So I know which direction I'm going in. I know how I can improve the value that I bring to whatever business community I've created.
Bam. I'm dropping mic right there because that's amazing. Guys, it's your girl, Elizabeth Colin. Until next week, live fit. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Misfit One Lifestyles. Listen, when you are fed up and sick and tired of living this stifled, overwhelmed, and overstressed life, and you're ready to live the fullest, richest, and healthiest life by gaining more confidence, more energy, and more clarity, living in your best self, you know what to do, right? Go ahead, go to my website, misfit1.com. Sign up for our online courses, Creating Healthy Habits, so that you too can live fit, focus, move with intention, and transform your life.